Hello. Last time we have seen intelligence testing, meaning of intelligence, its history, the concept of IQ and allied concepts, theories of intelligence, assessment of intelligence and application of intelligence testing. Now we are going to study the aptitude testing. Before we start the testing part, first we will see the concept of aptitude. The word aptitude is derived from the word aptos, which means fitted for. An aptitude is a set of characteristics indicating an individual's capability to acquire some specific knowledge or skills. Aptitude indicates the potential for future success in the selected educational stream. Aptitude is an indicative of one's potentialities to learn or to do new things. It can be developed by practice and training. We will see the definition of aptitude from medical dictionary. According to medical dictionary, aptitude test is an occupation oriented intelligence test used to evaluate a person's abilities, talents and skills particularly valuable in vocational counseling. According to encyclopedia, aptitude is any standardized examination used to evaluate a person's ability to learn a particular skill. So, till now, you must have understood the meaning of aptitude. While understanding any concept, we need to have a look to other similar concepts. So, in case of term aptitude, we often get confused with the term ability. There is a difference between ability and aptitude. Ability is an actual power to perform the task. Aptitude is capacity or ability to acquire the skill or knowledge in a particular area. Aptitude should not be confused with abilities. Present skills and capacities are not aptitudes. The difference between aptitude and abilities is that aptitude could be the potential which has as yet not been tapped and trained to a skill level. It is important to remember that ability tests measure current behavior and that behavior is influenced by past experiences. Whereas ability, as the word describes, it is present here and now in the individual. These are the predictor of future career path. In order to select the career appropriately and also to have a better life, discovery of abilities and aptitude is necessary. Abilities are broken down into two areas, achievements and aptitudes. Achievements, what has the individual learned to do in the past, and aptitudes, what can the individual learn or develop in the future. We should remember that aptitude and achievement are not completely independent of each other. For example, if a child is an accomplished athlete, she probably has athletic aptitude. So now we will go ahead with the aptitude testing part. An aptitude test evaluates your ability or potential to succeed in a specific task with no prior training or knowledge. It also exhibits your mental aptitude for academic choices, vocational preferences, job profiles that you will opt for in your life. People encounter a variety of aptitude tests throughout their personal and professional lives. For example, aptitude test in school. Students encounter a variety of aptitude tests throughout school as they think about what they might like to study in college or do as a career. High school students often take several aptitude tests that are designed to help them determine what they might want to study in college or pursue as a career. These tests can sometimes give a general idea of what might interest students as a future career. For example, a student might take an aptitude test suggesting that they are good with numbers and data. Such results might imply that a career as an accountant, banker or stockbroker would be a good choice for that particular student. Another student might find that they have a strong language verbal skills, which might suggest that a career as a language teacher, English teacher, writer or journalist might be a good choice. Unlike achievement tests, which are concerned with looking a person's level of skill or knowledge at any given time, aptitude tests are instead focused on determining how capable of a person might be of performing a certain task. An aptitude test is a way for employers to assess a candidate's abilities through a variety of different testing formats. Aptitude tests will test your ability to perform tasks and react to situations at work. Aptitude tests assume that individuals have inherent strengths and weaknesses and have a natural inclination towards success or failure in specific areas based on their innate characteristics. I am going to give you the description of various useful aptitude tests, but before that we will focus on the history of aptitude testing. The history of the aptitude tests goes back centuries to when need to assess someone's ability first aroused. There always seems to have been some form of aptitude test to determine specific skills. The first known test was described as an intelligence aptitude test. The history of the aptitude testing officially starts with Sir Francis Galton. He produced the first test in the early part of the 19th century. Galton's experiments were mainly physical and sensory. Today, they are more mental or cognitive in content. Early aptitude tests were designed to identify mental weakness. Consequently, those who performed exceptionally well were ignored. In 1916, the Stanford Binet Intelligence Scale was introduced. This scale was adopted to help create the Army Alpha and Beta tests for mental capability. Finally, in 1926, initial tests were modified into what became the first SAT, Special Aptitude Test. In the mid 1930s, the US Employment Service created over 100 tests for the 100 most common types of employment at that time. In the end, they produced 12 specific tests which concentrated on 9 particular aptitudes. In 1947, these tests became known as GATB, General Aptitude Test Battery. Later, in 1983, these tests were further updated. Then developed TAB, Technical Aptitude Test, and DAT, Differential Aptitude Test. In this history, it has been mentioned about Intelligence Aptitude Test. So, you must be thinking about aptitude tests versus intelligence tests. So, what exactly makes an aptitude test different from an intelligence test? Many intelligence tests are designed to measure what is known as general intelligence or an underlying global mental capacity that affects performance in all areas, as intelligence encompasses many different abilities including problem solving, reasoning, memory, knowledge and ability to adapt to a changing environment. Aptitude tests, on the other hand, are designed to measure a much narrower but specific range of abilities than IQ tests do. So, this is the basic difference between two. Now, we will see the classification of aptitude tests. Aptitude tests are grouped into two categories: multiple or differential aptitude tests and special aptitude tests. Multiple aptitude tests are those which intend to measure several aptitudes, each by an independent subtest. Hence, multiple aptitude tests are not tests but rather batteries of tests. Special aptitude tests are those which intend to measure only one aptitude. Differential aptitude test battery is comprehensive test battery for use in educational and vocational counseling of high school students. Special aptitude tests are developed to measure specific ability like musical aptitude, clerical aptitude. There is one more classification of aptitude test: professional aptitude tests, which primarily measure aptitude for different professions, and scholastic aptitude tests, which measure the scholastic aptitudes. After the classification part, an important and interesting informative part, we are going to learn names of various aptitude tests and its description. First test, as mentioned in the history, is DAT, Differential Aptitude Test. It is developed for high school students. The original forms were developed in 1947 to provide an integrated, scientific and well standardized procedure for measuring the abilities. The test was measuring abilities of boys and girls in grades 8 for the purpose of educational and vocational guidance. The DAT was revised and standardized in 1962, forms L and M, and again in 1972, forms S and T, and 5th edition was published in 1992. Still, DAT is one of the most popular multiple aptitude test batteries used all over the world. It has 7 subtests, namely verbal reasoning test, numerical ability test, abstract reasoning test, space relations test, mechanical reasoning test, clerical speed and accuracy test, and language usage test. Indian adaptation of DAT has been done further. The DAT has undergone several revisions and re-standardization to suit the Indian population. The Indian adaptation of the DAT was formulated by J. M. Ozha. It includes 3 subtests from DAT: clerical speed and accuracy, language usage spellings, language usage grammar. Then another popular and widely used aptitude test is DBDA, David's Battery of Differential Abilities by Sanjay Vohra. It has 8 domains: verbal ability, numerical ability, spatial ability, closure ability, clerical ability, reasoning ability, mechanical ability, and psychomotor ability. It has 315 items to be solved and requires 46 minutes to solve. It is designed for the age group of 13 and half years to 30 years. Next test is the Scholastic Assessment Test, SAT, that high school students take during their senior year is a good example of a multiple aptitude test. The Spatial Aptitude Test measures aptitudes in areas including maths, reasoning and language, and is often used by colleges and universities to determine if an applicant is prepared and has the ability to do well in college. There are many tests, we will see one by one. The Graduate Requisite Exam GRE, as well as the specialized test required in order to get into medical MCAT, law LSAT and business graduate programs are also examples of multiple aptitude tests. GATB, General Aptitude Test Battery, as mentioned in the history, is developed by the United States Employment Service in 1962 for use primarily in the armed services. Flanagan Aptitude Classification Tests. The battery has been primarily developed for vocational counseling and employee selection. Flanagan did the job analysis of several occupations. Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery. It is another popular multiple aptitude battery. It is designed for students in grades 11 and 12 as well as for post-secondary schools. It provides scores used in both educational and military settings. Artistic Aptitude Tests. 2 types of artistic aptitudes are commonly investigated today. One type of test is exclusively concerned with the measurement of artistic appreciation, and another type of test is solely concerned with the measurement of artistic production. The Mere Art Judgment Test is one example of a test of artistic or art appreciation. The Horn Art Aptitude Inventory is an example of a test of artistic production. The test is a measure of the ability to produce graphic art. Musical aptitude tests consists of 6 subtests like the pitch test, loudness test, the rhythm test, the time test, the timbre test and tonal and memory test. It is designed by Seashore and Satwit in 1993. So, these are some useful aptitude tests. Though we have discussed the application of aptitude tests, at the end we will again learn its usage and application in detail. What are the uses of aptitude tests? We all know how important it is to hire the right person for a job. Someone who does not have the right skills for a position or who is not a good fit with the corporate culture often ends up being replaced. Then you need to fill the position again, and turnover costs and lost opportunities can be significant. To make better hiring decisions and avoid high job turnover rates, organizations often use ability testing. Companies also use these tests for promoting and training. The goal is to get the right people with the right skills in the right jobs. Aptitude tests offer efficient and objective comparisons. The main reason companies use aptitude testing is to improve the quality of hiring and promoting. An understanding of one's aptitude helps us to know what he can do in the future. They are used for the purpose of prediction of future success both in educational and vocational careers. An aptitude test measures the student's strengths and weaknesses. They can be used to help the students in the improvement of certain special traits. An aptitude test help a student to determine the type of career they are most suited for based on their aptitude. They are used for the purpose of admission and selection of students in the college and technical institutions. For example, those who have a strong sense of special aptitude can pursue careers in design and creative arts, architecture, etc. For those with strong mathematical aptitudes, careers in the finance and management fields may be a great fit. In short, aptitude tests have two categories of uses: counseling and making administrative decisions. It helps clients achieve accurate insight about them. It helps career counselors to make diagnosis and counseling and to provide guidance to select the educational stream, vocation and profession. So, this is the application of aptitude tests. As a precaution, we have to remember a few points while doing aptitude testing. Aptitude tests can help to student to get an idea of what he might be good at given the right training. However, these tests cannot tell everything. Various factors contribute to success in a course or career. Aptitude is not the sole factor for success in a course or career. An aptitude test gives us a prediction of the probability only. There is never any certainty that predictions will always come true. The physical, social and emotional environment of the pupil is often different from the actual environment in the job or in college. This reduces the predictive value of the aptitude test. Consideration of other factors such as intelligence, personality, interest, physical and mental health of the student is really important. So, in this way, we have learned the meaning of word aptitude, difference between aptitude and ability, aptitude testing, difference between aptitude testing and intelligence testing, history of aptitude test, various aptitude tests and its description, uses and application of it, and things to remember while doing an aptitude test. Thank you.